So let's talk about Eileen Gu.
I'll give a quick rundown.
Yeah.
Since I covered this. So
Yeah.
Eileen Gu, an American citizen.
Mm-hmm.
She is an 18-year-old freestyle skier.
Yep.
Who switched sides, decided to start skiing for China. It's a whole different topic. But the point is that she is embroiled in some drama because what happened is after she decided to switch sides and start skiing for China, the dialogue turned from, hey, well, why did you support all of these, human rights issues in America? Right?
Yeah, because she's a vocal supporter of Black Lives Matter
and Stop Asian Hate.
Yeah,
and all
Stop
the
Asian
stuff
Hate.
that we've also endorsed and
Yes.
supported. So same page there, no problem. But then when it comes to the human rights issues in China that people are not just pressuring her, but like openly talking about right now, stuff we need to talk about right now, the Uyghur genocide, the lack of the complete alienation and destruction of religious freedom, freedom of speech, Great Firewall of China, all of these massive
Hong Kong issues, Tibet,
all these huge issues that are really Peng Shuai, these things that everyone is talking about. It's not like some niche little after school China club conversations. We're talking about stuff that everyone is talking about and wants opinions and support on, right?
Yes.
Okay, you want to go ski for China, do whatever you want, right? You have Chinese. But that doesn't mean you can stay silent on issues that you've talked about in America and then completely, actually verbally abuse people that call you out on being silent about the issues in China, right? It's calling them uneducated and things like this. And you can explain what her big, to me, a big mistake was here.
This really pissed me off. First of all, she broke China's laws because you're not allowed to ski for China. You're not allowed to participate for China on behalf of China unless you have only a Chinese nationality. You're not allowed to have a dual nationality. But it just shows you how bullshit the Chinese government is because they make an exception when it works out for them. So she didn't get rid of her American nationality because
from what we've seen, it's
the public records don't show that she did not renounce her American citizenship. Okay. Right. So in other words, she is a dual citizen. So by Chinese law, she should not have been able to compete on their behalf.
Correct.
But of course, she probably was
China has no law, and if you walk away from this episode knowing anything, please understand that Chinese law doesn't exist.
It's basically up to official discretion at the time. They can be like, oh, you just broke the law, but I don't care, you're fine. They can be, I don't like you, you didn't really break the law, but you know what, you're going to jail anyway. Correct. So it just depends. Anyway, here's the part that really pissed me off. This really, really got to me, okay? Somebody, okay, I'm just going to take myself out so we can read this this little conversation that was going on here. So,
this is a Chinese woman that wrote this, by the way.
Yeah, this is a Chinese woman. Eileen Gu was posting on Instagram about like she's having fun and all the normal crap that you get, right? And a Chinese woman posted this saying, "Why can you use Instagram and millions of Chinese people from mainland cannot? Why you got such special treatment as a Chinese citizen? That's not fair. Can you speak up for those millions of Chinese who don't have internet freedom?" So Eileen Gu replied, "Anyone can download a VPN. It's literally free on the App Store." Now, this is a then let them eat cake moment.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Because that's bullshit. First of all, not literally... I've got this like Valley Girl accent in my head.
I know. It's
like literally, just everybody can go get it. You know,
this is bad.
Yeah, you can't. It's illegal to use a VPN in China. Is illegal. People have been arrested. There are hundreds of documented cases of people who just viewed news on Twitter, made a tweet, posted something on Facebook or anything like that that have actually been arrested. Okay, fined a huge amount of money, detained, put under house arrest. Some gone to jail, especially if you're a Uyghur and you access, you know what I mean?
If you use a VPN and you're if you're from Xinjiang, if you're a Uyghur minority, it's second-degree terrorism.
Yes.
You go to jail, potentially die.
Yeah, you're effed. So for her to say something like that is absolutely disgusting.
So I was talking to a Chinese guy about this, and he was like, this is effed up. He was super pissed off because he said, what if somehow this gets out and goes on Weibo or something, this like spreads out, and then all of a sudden a bunch of students or a bunch of Uyghurs or whatever, someone sees this and they're like, oh, did the law change or something? Mm-hmm. And they go try to find means of finding a VPN and then they get arrested. Yeah. It has huge implications. It's super immoral to make statements like this, and it's completely false. Yeah. So I followed this up past like what you're going to see on a news website. What happened was it was initially met with a bunch of bot accounts from China that were saying like, you go Eileen, like, yeah, you tell them, like,
you tell them, like,
bullshit. Don't worry.
Those haters gonna hate. That's how.
Go to the next couple screenshots. I actually want to go through a comment that I picked out here.
Yeah.
That I think exemplifies a lot of what I was reading. This one was in English. It says, so this is to the Chinese woman that was saying that it's not fair that they can't use VPNs, right?
Yeah.
She says, we can use a VPN and it's quite convenient. After using VPN for 2 weeks, I started to think that firewall is some kind of protection. She's talking about the Great Firewall of China, banning all foreign websites. Yeah. It protects us from being harassed by some idiots on Instagram and on any other platforms. And frankly speaking, we Chinese people don't really care about Instagram or Twitter because we don't need them. We have so many amazing domestic and creative social platforms, which obviously have less haters than Instagram. Now, let me break this down.
Yeah.
When Eileen said that Chinese people can just go and
literally
download a VPN,
anyone can
do
anyone can use a VPN, which is an absolute lie.
Yes.
It's like saying, oh lol, anyone can go and steal from other people.
Right.
Oh lol, anyone can go shoot someone.
Yeah. It's a crime.
Like it's a crime.
Right.
It's a criminal offense.
So the propaganda works both ways.
Yeah.
Now, China doesn't want anyone in China to see this. They don't want anyone to be talking about this issue. So what they did was release a bunch of bot accounts, especially ones that were speaking English, so that Westerners would read that and say, oh, well, this is bullshit. All this stuff I heard about VPNs being illegal.
Yeah, and people being blocked and, the Chinese internet being censored isn't true because it looks like, oh, if they want to, they
can, right?
If
they so
can't.
desire, right?
Why do you think the Chinese government has spent billions and billions and billions every freaking day just to keep that Chinese internet cut off and censored?
Right.
It's because they don't want their citizens gaining access to information that they cannot control.
Correct. That's all it is. But I've seen the propaganda accounts, and this is how it goes even deeper.
Yeah.
So I'll be covering this on my female propagandist influencer video. Is this narrative that no, the Great Firewall of China was not invented for censorship. Even though it was actually publicly claimed as such in the beginning.
Yeah, it was, of course, developed for censorship.
It's that it was developed to protect Chinese companies so that they didn't have to face competition from juggernauts like Google and Facebook, right? Which is absolutely not true. I mean, that's a tiny part of it.
It's definitely a part of it.
Yeah, but like the censorship is exactly what happened.
The censorship is the main reason for it.
There were people speaking on platforms like Facebook that were organizing protests and things like that, and they shut it down lickety-split. So... What's the problem I have with Eileen's statement is, number one, it's false. And number two, it's actually perpetuating the current government narrative. But let me tell you what happened.
Yeah.
Okay? I'll read this. The website Protocol, this is like a tech internet website.
Yeah, it's a website called Protocol. It's not a protocol of a website.
Noted that multiple users fired back at Gu that Chinese citizens don't have that freedom, not to subtly suggest that if Gu is in fact a Chinese citizen alone, which... she has deliberately not confirmed. She is enjoying benefits her fellow citizens can't access. Screenshots of the exchange were censored from Chinese social media service Weibo. So what happened was China released Wumao bots. So Wumao are the paid internet shills. Released them to go support her message to say, yeah, shut up, you stupid Westerners.
Yes.
We can use a VPN if we want. And then when their job was done, censored the post.
So what you're seeing behind us here, this particular thing where she says, anyone can download a VPN. It's literally free on the App Store, Hua Shui, whatever you're saying. That stupid, annoying thing that she said is now censored, and you cannot see it on the Chinese internet. It has been scrubbed.
So this is what what happened, right?
Yeah.
At its Friday morning briefing, the International Olympic Committee was asked if deletion of the screenshots was a violation of Rule 50. And Rule 50 is the rule that permits athletes to speak freely on matters of their choosing outside the confines of the actual competition. Olympic law states that you can say whatever you want as long as it's not during the actual competition.
Right.
So Olympians, even in Beijing or no matter what country, you're allowed to do. They can have their little protests. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Right. The IOC, the International Olympic Committee, declined the comment without further information. So they capitulated with China.
Yes.
To censor this comment, which was actually pro-CCP, by the way.
Yeah.
Because it's part of their disinformation campaign.
But it just shows, it absolutely demonstrates that what she said was false.
And I'll tell you why they got rid of it, though. Because it leaked on Weibo, like I said.
Yes.
When it leaked on the Chinese internet, guess what it was met with? I have pages here. Thousands of people absolutely furious at her.
Yeah.
Because she just crossed the line.
Yeah.
I knew this was going to happen. She's the darling child of China right now. Oh, the American that switched sides. Look, America's in decline. China's so developed. So proud to have her as a part of 我们中国, right?
Yeah.
她的祖国, like her home, mother country, right? What happened was, in the end, is that when that leaked out, it backfired because Chinese people read that and said, we can't use a VPN.
No.
We're going to go to jail. So you have these people that are saying, this is so unfair, it's not even funny, because we're not allowed to do what she's doing. So she gets to play both sides. And
she gets to be a privileged elitist.
Do you think Chinese people are stupid? Of course not. They say, okay, so this American girl comes over, we can be proud of her to be Chinese or whatever.
She gets like $30 million worth of endorsements or whatever it is from, each one of her endorsements from each brand is netting her around about $2 million US dollars. Obviously, her agent takes a bit of that. But, that's a lot of money. She's got she's got like American brands lined up, various international brands, and a bunch of Chinese brands are also like endorsing her. So she's making tons of money. She gets to play both sides of the fence. She gets to be an American, but when it's not convenient, she gets to pretend to not be an American.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And vice versa. She gets to be a Chinese, and when it's not convenient, she gets to go back to whatever, Harvard or whatever she's studying, one of those top universities.
The way I see this whole thing is like it's an 18-year-old girl that wants to make a bunch of money. Her mom set her up to do this, all this kind of stuff. That's not the conversation. I think there's a lot of lessons to be learned past this.
Sure.
That the propaganda, when it's not convenient anymore, gets stopped and completely silenced. And what she did was correct for the Western propaganda, but when it came to Chinese people, they flipped immediately on her overnight, and there's a reason for that, and that's because she crossed the line. She did something that they're not allowed to do, and that's not fair.
It's not fair. This is literally just ignorance and arrogance and privilege all rolled into one, Marie Antoinette let them eat cake moment, with this whole like, oh, anyone can download a VPN. It's literally free on the App Store. Right. LOL. Hashtag free on the App Store. Hashtag VPN. Anyone can gain access. Hashtag not censored internet in China.
Right.
Hashtag I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Hashtag there's no Uyghur genocide.
Hashtag,
and you're uneducated if you think so, despite all the proof.
Exactly. Hashtag, cool. But I support BLM and other movements.
Right.
I support anti-Asian hate, but apparently Uyghurs aren't Asian now.
No, they're allowed to be genocided. That's fine.
Yeah. And
they're not Asian.
Taiwan's not.
According to her.
Taiwanese people
that doesn't matter.
They aren't Asian. Japanese people aren't Asian. You know how much hate towards Japanese
you won't
here
hear shit,
in China.
You won't hear shit.
You want to hear racism and hatred towards Asians? Go to China and ask anyone about the Japanese. You're going to get some real racist hatred right there.
Those lives don't matter, according to...
No, seriously. It's frustrating. Yeah. And everyone's like, oh, but she's just a young girl. Bullshit. She knows the position she's in, and she's an adult.
It's immoral. It's immoral.
Yeah, and she has to learn a little bit about the country that she's freaking skiing for.
Yeah, it's just not the time to do this. And okay, again, to cap this off, go ski for China. I don't give a shit. But don't have deafening silence when it comes to the actual issues that need to be talked about. And then don't make arrogant statements like this that is not fair to the millions of Chinese people that are completely cut off from the rest of the world.
Exactly.
It's bullshit.